happy to see everybody. And so Missy's not coming?
No, Missy can't come. She's, I forgot what she said. She's got
Well,
something
she's
going
probably...
on. And Connie couldn't come either.
Right.
She's rare.
Okay then, so now today's topic is liver and gallbladder. The reason being is that I use as one of my main tools in my macrobiotic practice and my macrobiotic teaching and education and my own education is the 5 transformation theory, which I believe is a very important concept and very practical. And what the 5 transformation theory teaches is that we live in the temperate climate in a seasonal round. Now we know the 4 seasons. We know spring, summer, fall, and winter. And the original 5 transformations was like that. They had north, south, east and west, and, I should say east and west from your point of view. And they had the earth in the center, with these seasons rotating. But what they did is that they moved the earth, the center, to between fire and soil to make 5 transformations. And so in terms of the development of the theory, way back when, because it's really ancient. And essentially, what I think is, my feeling is, well, it's my knowledge now, having studied Steiner for so long. What Steiner makes very clear is human beings are not the same throughout the course of history. We have changed. And in those days, we're talking 1800 BC and earlier, we could actually perceive the spiritual world. We could actually perceive it. We had at that time, we still had shall we say, according to Steiner's phrasing, a sort of a dim, clairvoyant perception of the world around us. So that those sages, those men and women that devised, or shall we say, elaborated the 5 transformation theory, that wasn't a theory to them. Okay, they saw during the course of the seasonal rounds not only the outward changes that took place in the vegetation and so forth, but they also saw the spiritual transformations that lay behind the change in the outward manifestation. In other words, they saw chi, or what's called in the Western tradition, the etheric forces. The etheric forces really basically have to do with nature. Wind, water, plants, sunshine, so forth. And we have an etheric body, which is our chi body, what we would call in macrobiotic terms our chi body. And this is, where the outward manifestation of that is the meridians that the acupuncturists use. So, according to the 5 transformation theory, is that during the time of spring, the active, now these obviously all the 5 transformations which are starting now is wood, then we move into summer, which is fire, then late summer, which is soil, which is earth, then fall is metal, and winter is water. Now obviously those 5 transformations are active all the time, because the etheric body, the chi body, is actually also called the formative body or the life body. In other words, what it does is it gives the shape and form to the organ structure, as well as maintaining the function of the organ structure. So the etheric body is essentially the healer, is what it is. It's responsible for maintaining the coordinated function of all the organs and tissues, as well as manifesting their particular shape and form. So, obviously, all 5 transformations are going all the time, but what happens as the season around is one of them comes to the forefront, becomes the most, shall we say, active of the 5. And they correspond to the season. So we're in the wood season now, and the manifestation of wood in the organ structure of the body is the liver and gallbladder. So that means that when the particular season we're in, that particular 5 transformation is active, the most, shall we say, the leading edge, then what it does, it goes in there to clean out and stabilize and harmonize the organ in question that corresponds to the season. You know, because in our macrobiotic way of life, we are attempting to harmonize ourselves with the rhythms of the earth, because we are earthly beings, and we cannot separate ourselves from the earth. It is not possible. If we try to separate ourselves from the earth, we will literally expire, and the earth will expire with it. In other words, if human beings, for instance, for some reason or other, eliminated themselves off the face of the earth, there would be no earth for cockroaches to rule over. Because the earth and humanity is so intertwined and interconnected with one another, human being disappears, the earth will also disappear. It's very important to understand this.
So it's like a symbiotic relationship
Yeah.
that's developed.
We were actually at one time when I talked about the order of the universe and the planetary formations that preceded the Earth incarnation, at the beginning of even at the beginning of Earth incarnation, there was just one planetary body, and the Earth separated itself out, along with the human being as well as all the other planets. So it was one organism. So still, in terms of our spiritual relationship, through the chi, through the etheric forces, we are intimately bound up with the earth. And so our way we conduct ourselves influences the planet, the growth of plants. It influences the weather. It influences the interior of the earth. So when we're starting to talk about, we have all these volcanoes, and we have all these tsunamis and earthquakes and hurricanes, we are the cause. Okay, fundamentally, it's really important. So in order for all these things to change, geotectonic disturbances are the result of disturbances in the human psyche and the human heart, our feeling, our social relationships with one another and other people, and our attitudes and whatnot. So that's a very profound thing to take into account, because not only is it true, it's also healing to have that thought. So now, the wood season comes in, and so this is the season of the liver. This is liver time, liver gallbladder. Now, what happens is the chi starts to kind of clean things out. So what we do is, if we have a toxic, imbalanced, insufficient function of the liver, that starts to get cleaned out and animated and revitalized. So usually that shows up as symptoms of detox. And number one is what?
Anger.
No, I mean physical symptoms. Flu. Allergies. Right? Allergies are not caused by what they think they are. Those are just triggers. You know, the pollen and all this other stuff that they talk about. People today are so out of balance, you know, it's really unreal. I mean, it's totally unreal. I don't know how many people, literally tens of millions of people have allergies in America.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm a big sports watcher, you know, I watch sports pretty much 7 hours a day. But I don't have the sound on, you know, I listen to music or as well as maybe doing, you know, riding or surfing the net or whatever. But one thing is, other than my passion for sport, is the commercials. And you see commercials for allergies all the time now, you know?
Not only allergies, but
No, but I'm just
drug
talking about,
commercials.
yeah, but I'm just talking about allergies,
Major
because it's
drug
the season for allergies, right?
Yeah.
So Claritin, on the 28th day, you mean to, and they recommend you take it every day. Now, isn't that interesting? Because, you know, I did some research this afternoon, just checking things out to see if I had, you know, stuff that I would miss about my talk tonight. You know, trying to bone up on stuff. And guess what? I went to one site there, and it looks like that's Melinda. Whoa, I haven't seen her.
Oh, yeah, Melissa.
Melinda Han. No, Melissa.
Melissa.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen her since
How are you? I'm good, good to see you.
Very
Yes,
nice
come
of
right
you.
in.
Thank you.
Miss Barbara had her
Okay.
dinners over her woman's weekend.
Hey, nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a long
It's
time.
been a long time. How are you and how's everyone else here? Hi.
Yeah, we're in the middle of talking, so you better sit down.
I will. I was gonna go maybe just get some food or something.
Oh, yes, you can, yeah, just
And I'll give you a cup.
Anyway, so where was I? Oh yeah, so I'm looking through this stuff. Causes of liver problems. And the longest list, I mean by far, I mean literally reams. When you're scrolling down the page on the computer, it was about this long. And what was it? Drugs causing liver damage. All kinds of drugs, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Antibiotics, vitamins, anthelmintics, what was it, the other one? Oh yeah, I mean every kind of medication imaginable, including of course allergy medication. I mean, this is illogical, you know?
Well,
Scientific thinking is so totally illogical, it's unreal.
even though medical science knows that these drugs cause
Yeah, they
what
know
they
it.
cause, their solution is to prescribe
Right.
more drugs to weaken the liver.
Right, well, you know, this year, Americans are gonna spend $280 billion on medication. 280 billion. Anyway, so all these detoxifying, you know, we get nasal discharge, we get eye stuff, you know, weepy eyes, we sometimes get red eyes, that's another thing. Because in terms of which tissues the liver rules over, number one is muscles. And a good strong liver will strengthen the heart. Because in the relationship of the five transformation theory, there's a mother-daughter relationship, which is a supportive relationship, and then there's a co-cycle which goes in the same direction, but goes the opposite. I mean, you know, you have to go onto my YouTube channel. I got a lecture on the five transformation theory. But the point is in that mother-daughter relationship, the liver supports the heart. So if you want a strong heart, you have to have a clean liver. Right? Now, the other organ, the sense organ that the liver rules over is the eye. Especially the retina and the optic nerve. Whereas the eyeball itself, the lens and the fluid in the eye is ruled by the kidneys. So the thing is, so if we want to have good eyesight, then we need to have a clean